Hello students, welcome to the maths class. Today we are going to start an important topic, that is subset. Subset means what actually? Suppose if I say a part of a particular thing. For example, if I say Gujarat state is a part of India. So we can say that in a mathematical manner, especially in the chapter of sets, we can say Gujarat is a subset of India. Similarly, India is a part of Asia continental. Okay, so here subset means a one set which is a part of another set is called as the subset. Now the rule for the subset is here. How we can say it is a part of the another set? The rule is given here. All the element of that particular set should contain by the another set. For example, look at the definition. A set A is said to be a subset of set B if every element of A. So please underline this one. If every element of A is also an element of B. Okay, then we write down A is a subset of B. The symbol of subset is this one, a large, we can say alphabet C they have made. Okay, and then they drawn a horizontal line. What is the meaning of this horizontal line? That also I will tell you. So suppose if I take one example. Suppose I take one example, set A is equal to 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and suppose if I take the second example, set B is equal to if I take 2, 3, 4, 1 and then 5. Okay, suppose if I take these examples. Now you decide and let me know whether A all element is lying inside B or not. We can check one by one. First of all, check the element 1. Is it lying in B? Yes, definitely it is lying in the set B. Similarly, check the element 2. Is it lying in B? Yes, it is also lying in set B. Similarly, the element 3. Is it lying in B? Yes, this also lying in the set B. So we can say that therefore A will be a subset of B. Now this horizontal line is drawn is for the possibility that A can be equal to B also. A can be equal to B also. Means if A and B are equal, we can say that A is a subset of B. In that case, in the reverse order, we can say that B will be a subset of A. Means in short, we can say that every set is a subset of itself. Means suppose if I have B is equal to 1 comma 2. So I can say that B 1 comma 2 is a subset of B. So the two conclusions we can draw with the help of definition of set here. One conclusion is what is the meaning of this horizontal line? This say that A can be equal to B or A can be a subset of B. And second thing, if the two sets can be equal means we can say that both are the subset of each other, and hence we can draw the second conclusion here. Every set is a subset of itself. Means here I can write down B can be subset of itself. So B can be subset or it can be equal. If they are equal, then also we will say that they are the subset of each other because they are following the definition. What definition they said? One set is called as the subset of another set if all the elements of first set lie in the second set. So you observe, if I say B is a subset of B, then the element of B is lying in the elements of the second set B over there. So we can say yes, it will be a subset. So remember one conclusion here, every set is a subset of itself. Okay, now let us see the second definition, superset. Superset means, see the definition what they are saying. If A is a subset of B, till now we have done up till now. Okay, A is a subset of B. Then B, the second set, is called as the superset of A, and we write down in this notation. This notation you are looking over here, this notation is the opposite one of subset. Okay, normally we don't use such kind of difficult notation because we are habitual with this one only, subset one, and this one, the reverse notation, normally we don't use. Okay, so remember the second set which has a subset will be called as the superset of the other sets. Okay, suppose if I say here y is a subset of x and z is also subset of x. Okay, or for example, if I make little, if I take some variation here, so suppose y is a subset of x and z is a subset of y, for example. So what I can say here, I can say that therefore x comma y are superset of sets y comma z respectively. Right, you can check what I have written here. X is a superset of y, and y, which is a subset of another set, but it will be a superset of z over there. So we can say that superset is nothing, it will be a those set who contain more than one subset. Similarly, now let us see the proper subset definition. So what is the meaning of proper subset? Proper subset means the A will be a subset of B, but A cannot be equal to B. Normally in a subset, we can say that A can be a subset of B, else A can be equal to B. But here A will be only subset of B and it cannot be equal. As you can see, the definition is written, if A is a subset of B and A cannot equal to B, then A is called proper subset of B, and we say write down in this manner A subset of B. Okay, so proper subset, please remember, in that case it cannot be equal to the given set. Okay, now let us see one remark over here. If there exists even a single element in A which is not in B, then A is not a subset of B. We write as A not subset of B. I will tell you these things with the help of one example. Suppose if I say A is equal to, elements of A is A, comma, B, comma, C. Okay, and if I take the elements of B as, sorry, wait a minute. Now if I take the elements of B as, yes, B is equal to B, comma, C, comma, D, comma, and then E, and one more if I take F. Okay, now observe, if I count, so B is lying in A, okay, and B is lying in set B also. Similarly, C is lying in A and C is lying in set B also. But you observe one element A is not lying in the set B. So we can say that A will not be a subset of B. In that case, we can say means each and every element of set A should lie in the elements of set B, and hence then only we can say A will be a subset of B. So I hope what is the meaning of subset is clear to you. We can solve now questions over here. So let us see the first question. In the first question, we have given that state in each case whether A is a subset of B or not. So look at the first part. A is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So observe 0 is lying in A but 0 is not lying in B. Okay, so here we can say that since 0 belongs to, remember whenever we shall write down an element, we'll use the symbol belongs to. I have told you earlier these things. Okay, so element we shall write down always with the symbol of belongs to, and when we are writing a subset, one set is a subset of another, then we use a notation of subset. Okay, so 0 belongs to A, but 0 does not belong to the set B. So we can say that therefore A cannot be subset of B. A is not a subset of B. Okay, now let us see the second part. In the second part, see what we have given here. A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 0. Now remember, 5 means nothing, means it does not have any element. We have done earlier empty set. So empty set means it is simple, vacant, nothing is there. Okay, suppose if a house is there and in that house nobody is living, so we say that that is a empty. Okay, so here also this set is an empty set. Now remember, there is one property: every set has an empty set is a subset of its. Means suppose if I ask B, set B is a subset of, sorry, set B is having which subset over there. So we say that set B has one subset compulsorily, that is empty set. So we say that since phi is a subset of, phi is a subset of B, always it cannot be equal, that's why the equal symbol I have deleted. So therefore we can say that A will be subset of B. Okay, now see the second one. In the third one. In the third one, they are saying A is equal to 1 to 3 and B is equal to 1 to 4. Now, since you know that how to define the subset over here, so observe, since 3 belong to the set A, but we can say that 3 does not belong to set B. So therefore, I can say that A is not a subset of B. Right? Now, similarly, look at the part number 4. X belong to set and x square is equal to 1. So if I write down the element of set A as we have done earlier, okay, so here I can say that the element of set A will be 1 comma minus 1, and element of set B can be, here it will come only 1. Okay, such kind of questions we have covered earlier, how to list out the elements. So see here, the value of x can be possible 2, 1 and minus 1. Since both are integer as per the definition of set A, so both I have taken. But in the set B, they are saying they are natural numbers, so only one I have taken. Now you observe, since minus 1 is a part of, or it is an element of set A, but I can say that minus 1 do not belong to set B. So therefore I can say A is not a subset of B. Okay, similarly let us see the next one here. X is an even natural number. So let us list out the element of set A. So suppose if I write down the element of set A is even natural numbers, means 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Okay, so these are the element of set A. And similarly, if I list out the element of set B, so it can be, x is an integer, so see, it will come from minus infinity dash dash dash, it will be minus of 2, then minus of 1, minus, sorry, 0, and then 1, 2, dash dash dash, it will go up till infinite. Okay, so now see, can we say that all the element of set A is coming in set B? Check one by one. 0, yes, 0 is coming. Then 2 is also coming here. 4, I have not written the element here, I have put a dash over there, but 4, 6, 8 all are coming here. So we can say that therefore A will be subset of B. Okay. Now sixth part is given here. X is an integer and B, X is a rational number. Okay. So X is an integer means A will contain which kind of elements here? Think of it, contain only integers like -1, -2, -3, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. And rational number, it contain integer as well as fractional number as well as decimal numbers. Okay. So we can say that since, we'll write down the answer in this manner, since set of rational number, set of set of rational number includes set of integers, so we can say that therefore A will be subset of B. Okay, A and B will be subset of each other. Now let us see the seventh part. X is a real number and X is an irrational number. You know that students, last year also you have covered set of real number have two branches mainly. One is rational number, okay, and second one is irrational number. Okay, so here we can say that irrational number is a part of real number. Same way we can write down the answer here also. Since set of real number, includes set of irrational number. Okay, irrational number. So now you observe here who is part of the another. A includes all the elements of B, but B does not include the elements of A. So here we can say that therefore A cannot be a subset of B. However, we can say that B can be subset of A, that is possible. Okay, that we can't deny. B can be a subset of A, but in the question they are asking to us whether A is a subset of B or not, so A cannot be a subset of. Now see the part number 8. In the 8th part what they are saying, X is an isosceles triangle, and set B they are saying X is an equilateral triangle. So see, one thing you decide, can we say that every isosceles triangle is an equilateral? Definitely not. Every equilateral can be isosceles, but every isosceles cannot be equilateral. So we can say that here, since every isosceles triangle cannot be equilateral triangle. Okay, so we can say that in that case A cannot be subset of B. So therefore A cannot be a subset of B. Now see it a similar case, part number 9. X is a square and B is a rectangle. So now tell me, every square is a rectangle or not? Definitely, because square include all the properties of rectangle, but every rectangle cannot be a square because rectangle cannot include all the properties of square. So here we can say that since every square is a rectangle, every square is a rectangle, therefore we can say that A will be subset of B. A would be subset of B, right? Now look at the part number 10. In the 10th part, what they are saying to us, X is a triangle in a plane and X is a rectangle in a plane. Now see, can we say that every triangle is a rectangle? Definitely not. Triangle and rectangle, there is no similarity. However, isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle can have some similarity. Square and rectangle can have some similarity. Means they can have some common properties. But here, triangle and rectangle, they do not have any common properties. So we can say that here, since set of triangle and rectangle, set of triangle and rectangle do not have any common property, any common property. Okay, so we can say that here sorry, therefore we can say that here A cannot be a subset of B. However, B also cannot be a subset of A. Okay. Now, part number 11. X is an even natural number less than 8. So, suppose if I list out the elements of set A. So, even natural number. Even as well as natural. So, 2, 4 and then 6. Only these three numbers will come. Similarly, set B if I talk about. So X is a natural number which divides 32. So who can divide 32? That first of all 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. Okay, after 8 I think it will come 16 and then finally 32. Okay, so here you observe, we can say that since one element 6 is belonging to set A, but 6 does not belong to set B. Okay, we'll make it proper. 6 does not belong to the set B. So therefore, we can say that A cannot be a subset of B. Okay, so I hope these questions are clear to you because we have solved enough number of parts to make you clear. I have taken the geometrical figure also, so now it can be the having more clear concept about this. You need to try some NCERT question by your own. Now let us see the one example who will be helpful for us to solve the next question, question number second. So see the example. In this example, they are saying let A is equal to 1 comma, in the bracket they wrote 2 comma 3 and then they wrote 4. So one thing, see here we can say that suppose I have one set X is there. If I say 1 comma 2 comma 3 is given. So observe X has three elements 1, 2 and 3. So if I want to write down a relation between 1 and set X or 2 and X here, I can write down 1 belong to set X. Okay. Similarly, 2 will also belong to the set X. But suppose that if I say here I have one more set y is equal to 1 comma 2. So I can say here y will be subset of x. Okay, or I can say if I write down the elements of y, then I will write down in the curly bracket 1 comma 2 will be subset of set x. That we can say means whenever I want to create a relation between the two sets, then if I am writing the elements over here, these elements I will enclose with the curly brackets, and if I am writing only elements, then I will write down the symbol of belongs to. Here you can write down 3 comma 2 also, means you can include one more element here. You can say 3 comma 2 is belong to the set x. But if you are writing in the form of pair, in the pair it can contain two elements or more than two elements, and if you include the curly bracket, you need to use the symbol of subset. Okay, but there is one twist in the example. They are see they are giving to us 2 comma 3 in the curly bracket itself. So here 2 comma 3 along with the curly bracket will be treated as an element of set A. Means when we shall write down 2 comma 3 along with the curly bracket, so it will be considered as an element because it is defined in a set in such a way. So I will write down 2 comma 3 belong to set A, and if I write down 2 comma 3 will is a subset of A, that will be wrong. This is a right statement and this will be the wrong statement because 2 comma 3 is not a subset, it will be a element of the set A. Okay, so see here, so they are saying you need to rectify who is the wrong statement over here. 2 comma 3 is given with the belong to symbol, and here 2 comma 3 is given with the subset symbol. So here they are saying clearly as A is a set containing three elements. One, second one is curly bracket 2 comma 3, and third one is 4. So three elements are given here. One, second one is curly bracket 2 comma 3, and third one is 4. So they are saying curly bracket 2 comma 3 is belong to set A. That is a true statement because it is an element. So if you write down this one as a set over there, this is wrong. If you want to write down this one as a set, then first of all you put up the curly bracket for the element, and then you can describe as a subset over there, means two curly brackets will come in that case. Okay, for example, if I want to write down 1 as a subset of A, then I will write down curly bracket 1 and then subset of set A. But if I write down without curly bracket, I will write down 1 as an element and hence it will belong to set A. Similarly, I can say if I write down curly bracket 1 comma 4, then it will be a subset of A because 1 comma 4 is an element. Okay, an element I am going to cover with the curly brackets, so it will be a subset. But if I write down only elements over there, I will say 1 comma 4 will belongs to set A. So remember one thing, element if we are representing of any set, they will be coming with the symbol of belongs to, and if you are representing a part of the set as a form of subset over there, then it will come with the curly bracket over there. Okay, so see first question based on this fundamental. Okay, I know you may be little confused while doing this fundamental, but with the help of question, I hope the things will be more clear to you. Okay, so let us see the second question now. In the second question, see we have given that, yes, let us see the second question. They are saying examine whether the following statements are true or false. Okay, so see first one, they are saying A comma B is not a subset of B comma C comma A. Suppose that I say I have a set B comma C comma A. For example, I say it is a set A, B comma C comma A. Sorry, once again I will write down B comma C comma A. Okay, and if I write down one more set here, B is equal to A comma B. So now tell me, can I say that B is a subset of A? Definitely, because all the elements of B are coming in A. So we can say that it will be a false statement. False, because we can say that all elements of first set lie in second. Okay, so therefore we can say that it will be a false statement. Similarly, let us see the second one. In the second one, what they are saying to us, set A, here it is given in set notation, belong to the A comma B comma C. So observe, we have one set over there, A comma B comma C. So if I write down only A, then belong to symbol will come, and I can say that A will belong to set A, B and C. But if I write down in the curly bracket, so as I have told you, curly bracket A will come with the symbol of subset. It will be a subset of A comma B comma C. So here we can say that curly bracket A is a subset of subset subset of A, B and C. Therefore, given statement is, here also it is false. Given statement is false. Let us see similarly the next one. Okay, now third one, phi in the curly bracket, subset of ABC. I told you phi itself a set and phi does not require the curly bracket. So remember, phi is a subset of any set, means if it is set is there, phi will be definitely a set of that particular set. So here if it is given along with the curly bracket, that is a wrong statement here, because phi does not require any curly bracket. Why do we use curly bracket? To bind the elements. Okay, but phi itself a notation of set, it does not require any curly bracket. So we can say that this statement is false, because we can say phi itself is a subset of any set. Okay, now similarly let us see the next one, part number 4. A comma E is a subset of X such that X is a vowel in the English alphabet. Suppose this set, I say it is A. Okay, and if I list out the element of set A, what can be the elements of set A here? A, E, then I, O and then U. Okay, only 5 elements I can list out, and the first set is given here, that is A comma E, we can say. Okay, so now you decide, tell me B is a subset of A or not. Okay, so we can say that therefore B will be a subset of A 100%, and hence the given statement is true. Given statement is true. Now see it the next one. What is the next one given to us? Next one is given to us, X belong to W and X plus 5 is equal to 5. Suppose if I solve the given equation, X plus 5 is equal to 5, which implies that X will be equal to 5 minus 5. So I can say that the value of x will be equal to 0. Okay, now x is equal to 0 and 0 belongs to the set of whole number. So I can say that therefore the set will contain one element 0 which is not equal to 5 because not now it is not empty. So therefore given statement is here false, we can say, right? Because in the set we are going to have one element 0 and it is not equal to, sorry, I wrote 0 over there, which is not equal to 5. Now let us see the part number 6. In the part number 6 they are saying A belong to this particular set. Suppose this set I say A. Okay, in this set I include one element curly bracket A and the another element as B. Now see, here we can say that the curly bracket A and B are the two elements of set A. Remember, B without curly bracket but A is coming with the curly bracket. As per the definition we have given that. So we can say that therefore A cannot be the element of set A. Hence, the given statement is again here false. Right? Now, similarly, let us see the next one. Part number 7. In the part number 7, what they are saying, curly bracket A is a subset of this set. Suppose this set I denote in a proper manner. A is equal to curly bracket A comma B. So here I can say that curly bracket A and then B will be the element of set A. Okay, because one element is curly bracket A and second element is B. So here we can say that therefore only curly bracket A cannot be the subset of A and hence the given statement is here also it is false. Similarly, let us see the next one. The next one they are saying B comma C in the curly bracket is a subset of A comma curly bracket B comma C. Suppose this set I denote it by the set B and in this I include two elements, one and second one is B comma C. Remember B comma C in curly bracket is one element, so I can say that one element is here A and second element is here B comma C. These two elements belong to the set B, therefore the curly bracket B comma C cannot be the subset of B and hence again here the given statement is false. Okay, because it is an element, not a subset. Similarly, A, B, B. Suppose if this set I say it is my set A. Set A is equal to A, B and then B. Okay. See, repetition of element in the set it is allowed, no problem, but that repetition doesn't have any sense. Okay, if you are repeating n number of times, we shall treat that element as one time only. Means if I want to list out all the elements of the set A, I will write down this one as A comma B only, and second set is given to us as A comma B. So now you tell me A and B are equal set. So we can say that therefore A is equal to B and hence every set those who are equal will be a subset of another set. So we can say that A can be subset or equal to the set B and hence the given statement is here true. Okay, because if one set is equal to another set, it will be a subset also. Every set is a subset of itself. Let us see the part number 10. Here we have given that one set A is equal to A comma B, then again A comma B, and it is going up till infinite. Okay, so we can say it can go up till infinite, but according to us Mathematically it can contain only two elements A comma B, and they are asking it is infinite set. No. So we can say that since the number of element of the set A is equal to 2, therefore A is finite. Okay, and therefore the given statement is here false. Now let us see the part number 11. This is the last part. If A is equal to set of all circle of unit radius in a plane and B is equal to set of all circles in a plane, means in the B the radius boundation is not there, it can have any radius. So can we say that A is a subset of B? So let me write down more clearly a set A here. So for example, set A is equal to set of circles having radius is equal to 1 unit. Okay, and B is equal to set of circles having radius R is equal to, it can be 1, 2, 3, dash dash dash, it can be any value, even it can be 1.1 also, because they didn't say that R will be integer value. Okay, so it can have radius can be any value. So now you tell me, all circles having 1 unit will be a part of B or not? Definitely yes. So we can say that A will be a subset of B. Therefore the given statement is true. Okay, now let us see the last question of today's, then some more methods will do it next time. So see the last question, what they are saying here. A is equal to 1 and B is equal to curly bracket 1 comma 2. Show that A is not a subset of B. So observe, here we can say that since 1, which is an element of set A, okay, but 1 do not belong to set B, because curly bracket 1 is the element of set B, but 1 do not belong to the set B over here. Since we can say that curly bracket 1 is an element of set B, but simply 1 is not an element of set B. If I write down 2 without curly bracket, yes, we can say 2 is an element of B, but 1 is not an element of B. Curly bracket 1 is an element of set B. So we can say that therefore all elements of set A do not lie in set B. So therefore we can say that A will not be a subset of B. Okay, so this is simple proof they were asking. It can come for 1 mark in the examination. So students, we have finished till here the 3 questions, because in a subset it is a long topic, it have more than 10 questions. So next time we shall cover some more questions of the subset. We required minimum 2 sessions to finish the questions of the subset over here. Okay, so next time we shall see some more questions. Thank you.